ISOM, Rippaverse. Is it worth the investment? And what do I mean by that? Let's talk about it.
Right.
Hey, this is Pops, and I'm going to talk about ISOM, the Rippaverse. Going to talk about it from more of the financial perspective. And when I use the term investment, I'm not meaning is it worth investing in or investing in Eric to make the project happen. I mean more of like the longer term value of the comic, whether it be a collectible, whether it be a graded, whether it be one that's signed. Just want to touch on that and kind of give you a little bit of like a price comparison to what you could be spending your money on now versus other comic books. Because let's face it, when you're starting off at a price point of 25, 30, 40, 50 bucks, you're already really getting to the point of it's a pretty pricey investment. Now, you're not investing in just the comic book, you're investing in his company because you believe in it or because you really are passionate about supporting independent creators and that kind of thing. I am not speaking to that at all. I'm speaking very separately to just the valuation of the comic books. This is in real time, recording this on the 16th of August. These are sold on eBay to give you sort of a real time demand of what people are buying. These are buy it nows. So 65. This is with shipping, it'll be 74. So I'm going to go. So this is 83, 6 to 80. So it's 89. So roughly 90 for number one with Yaira on the cover. Here's a cover A with a bookmark that went for 60. And then here's a graded copy of ISOM number one. Regular graded copy would have been for 167, 168. So right off the bat, first off, a good return on investment if you got in at 25, 30, 35 bucks on those books, right? Those are all, we're showing a pretty strong growth there on those. Also, you're seeing a lot of demand, right? Because obviously issue number 2 is coming out. Some people have already gotten it. You already are seeing, a couple sales today, a couple sales the last couple days. So it's selling daily, right? So it's not like it's a dead comic book that's not selling. It is selling, but it is selling at a pretty good premium. I will say the graded books at 170 for a regular graded number one seems very steep to me. 160 is there are a lot of books that are 9.8 and graded that are, more like vintage classic time proven things in a market that's this soft that you can buy, for $100 and less. So you really could buy 2 copies. You could buy you probably could you might be able to get a Spawn number 1 for that, maybe not. I know you can get a Pit number 1 for that and have money left over. So but yeah, here's a regular copy. I guess it had been bagged, I assume is what they were going for here. It seems awfully expensive there. Pay $112. Here's a 3 copy set. Here's one came with some art. Here's another again, very expensive, really, cover C with the cards, $175. It's very expensive. Here's a offer taken. Here's a $3,000 offer taken on all 3 signature 9.8. So I don't know what the original sale price turned out to be. Here's a 9.8, 160. Here's a 155, not graded. That ran through an auction. So that actually ran through an auction. It tells you that the demand is really, really strong right now over the last couple of weeks. So here's a 9.9. So someone had a 9.9 at 190. That actually is probably on the low side if you can get a 9.9. So that person actually did very well on a 9.9. I would have bought that for a 9.9. That would have been something I would have paid for. Because a 9.9, I know it's one digit, but it's exceedingly rare to see what the 9.9s are and that kind of thing. So, but my point of this is, and here's another one. So there are a lot of comic books. Batman 400, Batman Year One, Death of Superman. There are some iconic comic books that you could be investing in that already have sort of a proven track record of ups and downs. And right now, the ISOM book is so on fire and on hot. It's in demand right now for issue number 2. So there's a lot of demand right now to buy. I would tell you right now and caution you right now is not a buyer's time. It's a seller's time on ISOM. The market may be a buyer's market. So right now it may not be the best time. If you didn't get issue number 1, you probably want to get it directly through the Rippaverse. I know he's had a sale on that as well. But I would caution you to think of this as like a financial investment. Like you're going to get a copy, you're going to bag and never read it. You're going to think it's going to be worth your mortgage someday. Don't know. Maybe Eric's universe continues to grow, and 10 years from now, there are, 50, 100 issues, whatever there may be. And this first appearance of ISOM and these other characters is the iconic signature book that everybody wants. It's worth hundreds of dollars, maybe. Okay, maybe, but we don't know. And I'm not sure it's worth the risk in the moment, and definitely not in the moment of the hot market right now. I'd caution you against some, because you can see some knee-jerk reactions. I mean, you're talking about an ungraded copy. Where'd he go? This is a cover C, ungraded, even with the cards at 175. That's a big stretch, because up here we had a cover C that sold for 74. That's crazy. That's double, more than double. For what, cards? Cards are cool, but not that cool. So see the covers here, and you can see the demand picking up. The price is kind of like ticking up a little bit here. Obviously, the Yara cover is definitely still very, very solid. Everybody's talking about it being rare, stuff like that. I know there are like print numbers and things like that, but so some of these numbers can get away from you a little bit. I just really would caution you in that regard. And again, the mindset of like, are you buying it just to read it and support it, or are you buying it for like the investment part too? Because that does get a little tricky there, where I'm not sure I would tell you to do that. So as far as real time, let's look at real time auctions right now. There's only 31 listed. There's only one auction right now. It is an A and B cover at 130 with one more day. So that actually appears to be, based on the other prices that we saw, a pretty good price. That's not a bad price. Okay. Buy it now. Let's see what we have here we'll go high to lows. So yeah, the grade, all three signature sets, 2,500, $2,000. We don't know what they sold for. Here's singles that are selling for around 1,200. Here's all three signed, ungraded for $1,000. So there's some pretty ridiculous prices kind of thrown around as well, that are sort of out there. So don't get yourself too caught up in all of that. As far as on the low end, let's see. Here's an ISOM 3, 60. 65, 69, 75, 79, 80. These are all cover C's with offers on them, so you could easily make a good offer. And here's a 9.8 cover C at 125. Now, there's no offer option on that, so what you do, in my opinion, just hit the little heart, and just wait and see if you get an offer, or go down one more, and there's one here at 130, and there is an offer on that. So maybe you could get that one for around, see if they take 100. Maybe they counter you. It's only $12 for shipping, so that's a priority box. That's pretty reasonable in shipping, right? It's kind of on the low end of shipping, to be honest, because if you're using a flat rate box, it's close to 17. So hopefully you're using a regular priority box. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, this one says slight creases 150. That's way out of bounds on pricing. So all right, there you go. There you have it. Some updates on that. Again, I know it's a little bit of a weird way that I framed it. I'm not trying to offend anybody, talking about the investment to the movement or the brand. I'm talking about more of like the comic book market as far as spending money and that kind of thing. So anyway, that was what I wanted you guys to think about. I thought it was an interesting topic of discussion because it is trending right now, and I wanted to hear your thoughts as well on it. So hit me up. I am Pops.
My favorite quality about Pops is that he's incredibly honest. At least you always know where you stand with Pops. So I like that about him. He's not passive aggressive. He's not sneaky that way. He'll give it to you straight down both barrels.